To Matthew Lau from the Breaking News Reporter of Insider Inc. Thank you for your inquiry about the United States of Kailasa. We appreciate your interest in learning more about the United States of Kailasa, the ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. We're happy to answer your questions. Mr. Lau asks, your team claims that Kailasa has not deceived anyone and is not fake. What does Kailasa claim to be in conventional terms? Is it a sovereign state or an organization perhaps?
Mr. Lau, we are a revival of the ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation operating through a group of NGOs in multiple countries across the world. It was established much in the spirit of a country like the Sovereign Order of Malta, a borderless service-oriented nation. Its vision is leaving enlightenment for all, leading to global peace, irrespective of any external differences including gender, race, nationality, color, caste, creed, etc. It is established on the principle of oneness or Advaita in Sanskrit.
Mr. Lau asks, your team also claims there have been instances of Hinduphobia and racism in the media. Can you identify these instances and explain your reasoning for them?
Mr. Lau, I would respectfully point you to independent reports such as Anti-Hindu Disinformation, a case study of Hinduphobia on social media from Rutgers University. The Hindu American Foundation has a collection of references to usage of Hinduphobic and anti-Hindu words. hinduamerican.org/Hindu-hate-grocery. Here is another example article that shows evidence for how mainstream narratives erase Hindu voices. Much of the narrative about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism comes from Indian media, which have been called out for its corruption and false reporting.
Mr. Lau asks, is there any documentary evidence you can provide to show the legitimacy of Kailasa?
Kailasa is the revival of the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation with presence in many countries around the world. It was established much in the spirit of a country like the Sovereign Order of Malta, a borderless service-oriented nation. We operate in multiple countries through NGOs around the world where we offer free yoga and meditation, food, and self-empowerment classes apart from religious services.
Mr. Lau asks, Nityananda also says he owns an island off the coast of Ecuador. Can Kailasa prove this claim?
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has never claimed he owns an island.
Mr. Lau asks further, Nityananda has been accused of rape in India. How does he respond to such charges? And why did he move overseas in the year of 2019?
This case is absolutely false. Many prominent human rights advocates have given independent reports and legal opinions attesting this. Among them is world-renowned Queen's Counsel from UK, Mr. Jeffrey Robertson, who says in this report about the persecution, quote, it arises more generally from the demonization of their leader and guru by the media and state government officials as a result of false sexual abuse charges first leveled against him in 2010 and pursued in a manner that amounts to an abuse of process, unquote. He further adds that, quote, The state of the prosecution evidence in both cases is weak, and it is reasonably likely that he will eventually be acquitted. It is particularly concerning that the central government is urging states to encourage police action against him, which is marks of persecution and reprisal for his complaints to the United Nations, unquote. Finally, quote, for the reasons explained above, I consider that the leader of the ASMT and his followers have suffered and most likely are still suffering persecution on the grounds of religious belief contrary to Article 18 of the ICCPR, unquote. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was proven innocent by the California, USA Court on April 4, 2013. The court ruled in favor of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and fined the fourth victim nearly $500,000 in fines. This is also recognized by Mr. Jeffrey Robertson, QC, stating, quote, both A and B's claims against PN were dismissed in US cases with costs and in A's case with damages. Further evidence emerged in the US proceedings to show that the allegations were false, unquote. Mr. Robertson says in his report that, quote, he did not jump bail but was out on bail when he left India, and he was entitled to do, and he has remained abroad in order to seek asylum because he claims a well-founded fear of persecution, unquote. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not a fugitive, but a persecuted individual whose basic rights were denied. The passport authorities did not renew his passport even after the Indian court ordered them to do so. Further, innumerable attempts were made on the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. For all these reasons, he was moved to a safe place by his disciples and followers.
Mr. Lau asks, Nityananda has been described in the media as a con artist. How does he respond to this?
The description is pejorative and defamatory, used without evidence by some in the media to delegitimize the contribution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in preserving and promoting the science of enlightenment as per Hinduism and his work in gender equality in religion. His teachings in self-empowerment via yoga and meditation has inspired many to spread these teachings in multiple countries. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, was formally initiated, trained, anointed by competent traditional Hindu authorities who have come in established Hindu lineages. He was recognized at a young age as an incarnation as per Hinduism, much like how the Dalai Lama was recognized as an incarnation as per the Tibetan Buddhism. His teachings are based on core ancient Hindu scriptures. We hope that our previous responses have clarified your questions. Please let us know if you have any further questions, and we will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.